What are you watching?
What are you watching? Elodie, le film!
I'm still reeling from the shock of walking into the Orka World Hotel and Aquapark, Ovacik. I mean, the Instagram pictures made it look like a modern, vibrant oasis, but in reality, it was a complete disaster. A total facade. As I entered my room, I was appalled by the outdated, non-functional furniture. It was like they hadn't updated or maintained the room's furnishings in ages. The bed was uncomfortable, the TV barely worked, and the overall decor was just tired and unappealing. It was evident that the hotel wasn't invested in providing a comfortable and pleasant stay for its guests. But, you know, that was just the beginning. The food was a whole different story. I'm talking cold, congealed dishes, reheated to an unrecognizable state. It was like they were serving us yesterday's leftovers, without even bothering to warm them up properly. The variety was non-existent, and what little they did offer tasted, well, pretty bad. I mean, who serves the same dishes every day, with no effort to mix things up? And don't even get me started on the bar staff. They looked at us like we were an inconvenience, never smiled while serving us, and none of them could speak English. I mean, what kind of hotel doesn't train their staff to communicate with their guests? It's just basic customer service, guys. I was starting to feel like I was in some kind of bad dream. But, of course, that wasn't all. The music by the lower pool was deafening, and when I politely asked them to turn it down a notch, it was like talking to a brick wall. They just didn't care. It was like they were trying to torture us with loud music and mediocre food. And then, there was the issue of the rooms. They double booked, and no one got the room they paid for. I mean, can you imagine showing up to your vacation, only to find out that your room is already occupied? It's like they didn't even care about our experience. We had to stay in a room that was, quite frankly, not pleasant, for 4 days straight, living out of our suitcases. The all-inclusive drinks were a joke, too. We couldn't even get what we wanted without paying extra. I mean, what's the point of all-inclusive if you can't even get a decent drink? It's just false advertising. But you know what the cherry on top was? The staff's attitude. They were miserable, rude, and seemed to take pleasure in our inconvenience. When I asked for a late checkout, they initially told me it was impossible, and then, only after I questioned their reasoning, did they graciously offer me a room until 6 p.m. It was like they were doing me a favor or something. I'm still trying to wrap my head around why they would treat their guests like this. Is it poor management? Understaffing? Cost-cutting measures? Whatever the reason, it's just unacceptable. I mean, we're not asking for the moon here, just a decent place to stay, some good food, and a little bit of respect. As I sit here, reflecting on my experience at the Orka World Hotel and Aquapark, Ovacik, I'm left with a sense of deep disappointment and sadness. It's like I was robbed of a chance to relax, to unwind, and to enjoy my vacation. Instead, I was forced to navigate a never-ending series of disappointments and frustrations. I want to ask you, dear audience, have you ever had an experience like this? Have you ever felt like you were treated like dirt by a hotel? Share your stories with me, and let's commiserate about the injustices of the hospitality industry. And to the Orka World Hotel and Aquapark, Ovacik, I say this: you failed us, miserably. You failed to provide even the most basic level of service, and you failed to respect your guests. It's time to take a long, hard look at your operations and make some serious changes. Because, right now, you're not just disappointing your guests, you're actively hurting them. The business is near Orka World Hotel and Aquapark, Ovacik, a tale of disappointment, frustration, and occasional horror. As I delve into the reviews, I'm left with a sense of dismay, wondering how establishments can so blatantly disregard the well-being of their customers. Let's start with the shopping mall, Erasta Fethiye AVM. It's a haven for scammers, where security guards seem more interested in intimidating customers than providing assistance. One reviewer had a barber who not only accused him of being an undercover police officer but also held him hostage, demanding access to his phone. Yes, you read that right, a barber. It's a miracle the reviewer escaped without permanent damage. The mall's management seems just as unbothered, failing to address the issue despite promises to do so. It's a place where you're likely to leave with a bad haircut and a bruised ego. Next, we have the Sanctuary Day Spa and Turkish Bath, where the phrase relaxing experience takes on a whole new meaning. Reviewers have reported a range of issues, from incompetent staff to violent massage techniques. It's as if the therapists are trying to exorcise demons rather than provide a soothing experience. The manager's behavior is equally appalling, yelling at employees in front of customers and creating an atmosphere of tension. And then, there's the Shine Indian restaurant, where the food might be decent, but the service is a whole different story. The manager's behavior is reminiscent of a dictator, threatening customers and staff alike. One reviewer witnessed the manager physically abusing an employee, and another was accused of shortchanging the bill. It's a place where you might enjoy a decent meal, but at the cost of your dignity and peace of mind. Last but not least, we have the Mojito Cocktail Bar, a hotspot for noise pollution and weak drinks. The music is so loud it'll keep you awake till the wee hours, and the staff seems more interested in getting you drunk than providing decent service. It's a place where you might get a hangover, but not from the drinks, from the constant noise and chaos. As I sift through these reviews, I'm left with a sense of despair. How can businesses so blatantly disregard the well-being of their customers? It's as if they're operating in a bubble, where accountability is just a myth. But fear not, dear travelers. This report is not meant to discourage you, but to prepare you for the worst. Be cautious, be wise, and always keep your wits about you. And if all else fails, remember that a good sense of humor and a strong liver can get you through even the most trying of times. In conclusion, the businesses near Orka World Hotel and Aquapark, Ovacik are a minefield of disappointments, frustrations, and occasional horrors. Tread carefully, dear traveler, and may the odds be ever in your favor. You know, I've been looking into these crimes near Orka World Hotel and Aquapark, Ovacik, and it's just, so sad, you know? Tourists come here to have a good time, and then they get scammed, it's not fair. Businesses near Orka World Hotel and Aquapark, Ovacik are super sneaky, you know? They'll sell you fake old jewelry, and you'll think it's real, but it's not. This British couple, they bought these necklaces and bracelets, and they thought they were getting a good deal, but nope, it was all fake. They didn't find out until they got home. Can you imagine? You're on vacation, you're having a good time, and then you find out you got ripped off. I think they probably felt so stupid, you know? How could we be so dumb? But it's not their fault, it's the scammer's fault. And then there's this currency exchange scam in Ovacik mini market. You know, tourists come here, they exchange their money, and then they get shortchanged. This German tourist, he exchanged 100 euros, but he only got the equivalent of 80 euros. Can you believe it? The shopkeeper just told him it was a service fee. What even is that? I think the tourist was probably so angry, you know? How can you do this to me? But the shopkeeper just didn't care. And then there's this credit card cloning thing at a major electronics store in Fethiye. Tourists buy stuff, and then the store employees take their card info, and then there are all these unauthorized charges. I think the tourists were probably so shocked, you know? How did this happen? But the employees, they just didn't care, they just wanted to make money off of them. And, oh man, there's this restaurant menu switching scam in Fethiye Promenade. Tourists are shown one menu, but then they get charged for a different one. I think the tourists were probably so surprised, you know? This is not what we ordered. But the restaurants, they just didn't care, they just wanted to make more money. And, finally, there's this fake leather and textile brand scam in Fethiye Bazaar. Tourists buy these fake designer brand things, and they think they're getting a good deal, but it's all fake. I think the tourists were probably so disappointed, you know? This is not what I paid for. But the shop owners, they just didn't care, they just wanted to make money off of them.